Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I appreciate deeply your holding this hearing on these critical programs. And I appreciated your noting that we've already made it clear in the Senate that the support for GSP is strong and bipartisan, and we've got a plan already put together. Preference programs are good when administered effectively. The programs can drive economic development for developing countries, including by creating new opportunities for women and reducing poverty. For the United States, they can help facilitate equitable market access and strategically help partners become more competitive vis-a-vis China. While preference programs are good, comprehensive trade agreements are better because they maximize economic opportunities and promote the highest standards. We need them now more than ever. Africa is a particularly telling case, as is shown by the chart that'll be put up behind me very quickly here. As the chart shows, we are losing economic ground in Africa to China, even with AGOA, the African Growth and Opportunity Act. The Trump administration got it right when it stepped up our engagement in Africa through its negotiation efforts to get a real free trade agreement with Kenya. And I appreciate our chairman's comment about how critical that is to get done. The Biden administration, however, imprudently terminated that in an effort of low ambition framework agreements that fail to reduce tariffs and lack commitments on key disciplines that are integral to comprehensive trade agreements. Although I support programs like the General System of Preferences program and AGOA, we need to resume negotiating real, comprehensive trade deals before it is too late. In the interim, though, while the administration takes no steps toward meaningful trade agreements, Congress can at least prevent us from falling back by getting these preference programs back on track. Congress can renew GSP now and ensure early reauthorization of other preference programs such as AGOA. Since many AGOA users make purchasing decisions 2 years in advance, we should not leave them in uncertainty by waiting to decide on the program's future next year. The more than 3-year GSP lapse is painfully instructive and calls for immediate renewal. Because of this lapse, Americans paid an extra $3 billion in tariffs, and companies are moving production from developing countries to China. Reauthorization of GSP should not be controversial. Unlike other trade expansion programs where some industries might face increased competition, GSP is designed not to contain import-sensitive goods. This body proved GSP was bipartisan, as Senator Wyden has already mentioned, and non-controversial in the Senate when it voted 91-4 last Congress to reauthorize it. Our Republican colleagues on the House Ways and Means Committee are also ready to see GSP passed and have already approved a bill that adopted many elements of our Senate compromise, including on labor and environment. GSP's passage has been stalled by some attempts to achieve unrelated partisan items, with the most recent demand being reauthorization of Trade Adjustment Assistance, or TAA, a program that has never been tied to GSP or to any other preference program. As my colleagues know, TAA is traditionally a trade-off for actual trade promotion authority. If folks support preference programs, then they should let them move forward as soon as possible without any unnecessary linkages. Each day that GSP remains lapsed and the fate of other preference programs remain uncertain is a day China moves ahead. I am ready to see GSP, AGOA, and potentially other preference programs all passed as a part of a package by the time of the AGOA Forum next month. That step would demonstrate to our partners, particularly in Africa, that the United States, not China, represents the opportunity for a brighter economic future. With that, Mr. Chairman, I look forward to hearing from our witnesses.
Thank